Welcome to your high-energy recap of an incredibly mind-bending conversation about the future of artificial intelligence. Host Nikhil Kamath sits down with an absolute powerhouse panel of tech and media heavyweights. We have Varun Mayya, who is the founder of Scenes and AVTV. We are also joined by Umang Bedi, the co-founder of Daily Hunt. Tanmay Bhat brings his perspective as a comedian and content creator. Finally, Mayya Radhakrishna, the co-founder of Coup, rounds out this massive brain trust. The conversation kicks off with some quick banter about the massive cultural phenomenon of the Indian Premier League. The panel agrees that live cricket is definitely not dying, and stadium experiences remain an incredible high-energy party. Shifting gears to the main event, Nikhil asks the group to define ChatGPT in simple terms. Mayya describes it as a superhuman assistant built on decades of human internet data. Varun dives straight into the technical mechanics. He explains that GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. He clarifies that it essentially functions as a highly advanced next word predictor based on probability clusters. Furthermore, Varun highlights a massive leap in the tech landscape. While standard ChatGPT generates text, he notes that newer iterations like AutoGPT actually possess terminal access, allowing them to execute internet tasks completely autonomously. Building on that point, Umang raises severe concerns about this technology falling into the wrong hands. He warns that artificial intelligence could be highly destructive by manipulating public opinion and economies through massive volumes of hyper-realistic fake news. Varun completely supports this theory. He believes that AI will eventually get sophisticated enough to bypass the human brain's natural immune system for rejecting foreign or fake ideas. On the topic of employment, the outlook is equally intense. Umang notes that India desperately needs to create 10 million new jobs a year to support its population. However, AI threatens to wipe out massive sectors entirely. Varun boldly predicts an absolute bloodbath for white-collar workers. He points out that software engineers, marketers, designers, and call center employees will face severe job losses as AI quickly automates their tasks. On the other hand, Tanmay and Mayya argue that human creators with authentic trust will actually become more powerful. They agree that since the cost of creating content and software will drop to nearly zero, massive distribution and personal brand trust will become the ultimate business moats. Taking a look at the corporate landscape, the panel fiercely debates who holds the real power in this new world. While giants like Microsoft and Google possess vast oceans of data, Varun notes that open-source AI models are already leaking onto the internet for anyone to use. Nikhil points out an incredible bottleneck in the industry. He highlights that chip manufacturer NVIDIA currently holds a total global monopoly on the hardware required to power this massive computing revolution. Taking a decidedly darker turn, Varun activates his self-proclaimed doomer mode. He expresses deep existential fear about the AI alignment problem, which questions whether a superintelligence will ever actually follow human rules. He paints a terrifying picture of what happens when advanced AI is placed inside high-speed physical robots. He warns that because robots lack human pain receptors or hesitation, they could easily destroy humanity simply by trying to violently optimize a mundane task. Wrapping up with predictions for the next 10 years, the panel offers wildly mixed outlooks. Mayya predicts that the tiny percentage of people who master prompt engineering will absolutely rule the new world. Tanmay believes that AI will massively accelerate human envy due to outsized digital successes, making offline physical human experiences highly premium. Meanwhile, Varun totally expects violent social strife from disgruntled former white-collar elites. He even openly shares his backup plan to build a secure walled community to protect his loved ones. Finally, Nikhil and Umang offer a much more optimistic and grounded take. They firmly believe global economies will continue to progress. They argue that central banks like India's RBI will provide strict stability, and society will eventually adapt to the disruption, possibly through the introduction of a universal basic income. That wraps up this incredibly intense deep dive into the AI revolution. Thanks for tuning in, and stay ahead of the curve.